Hey guys, new video here is Scourge League Unrewarding. Yesterday it was day 2 of the league, and we saw a Reddit post that was saying, like, for the bottom end of players, like the newer players, right, people who don't have all day to play or can't play like, you know, a month straight, it wasn't very good, right, compared to like previous leagues and stuff. So I wanted to take a look at that because I've actually been thinking about this a lot because I've been having a lot of fun in the league, but you know, it's gotten to be kind of a meme at this point when you pick up these Scourge items. It's like, oh boy, I can't wait to get minus 20 cold res plus 22 fire res, right? So I looked at all the mods and I looked at all the things. If you don't know, there is a PoE DB that I'll link below. It's called the Blood Crucible, PoE Blood Crucible here. So what you'll go, you can just Google this real quick if you are if you're a fast typer, right? And this shows every single mod on the upside. You just click on this upside tab and you scroll down, look at all these things, right? And then, like, for example, things that might stand out is you can type in level, right? Plus level of gems. These are pretty interesting, right? Plus, everyone loves plus level of gems. That's some upside. And then if you do want to see some downsides and what those tiers are, you can click on downside here, right? And then once again, you can find all the so-called bad stuff. Some of this, it could be good stuff as well, right, depending on your build, but you know, everything is listed here, so there's no more mystery in like what are the top end things to add to certain items, right? So first I want to do a little experiment, and I want to think about 6 links, right? So I've pulled up PoE trade here for Carcass Jack, and if you were to go back in any other league and you were to think, okay, you have a core 6 link that you want to get for your chest, probably, right? For any starter build, you're like, ooh, if I got that 6 link, my build would really pop off and it makes things a lot smoother. So right now, pretty much every basic 6 link, right? I haven't looked at shavs or anything like that, but every basic 6 link is about an exalt, right? You can look right here. And all you gotta do, you can watch the there's a video on the front page of Reddit from Elishar about how to very easily get it. The Dendrobate that I'm wearing right now was 6 linked with 1 tainted fusing orb, and I bought the chest for 24C, so it was about 30C 6 link chest, right? You can make these incredibly easily with these tainted orbs of fusing. So what I want to think about is from a standpoint of like, is the league rewarding? So let's say it's day 2 for most players, and you have a chest that, let's just say it's 1 exalt, right? And we take a Carcass Jack, for example, and that Carcass Jack in previous leagues, or maybe an Impulsus, or maybe like a Dendrobate like I'm wearing, right? A 6 link version of this might be 5 exalts, right? Let's just say 5 exalt. I think that's a pretty safe number to assume. So we take that 5 exalt number, okay, that you would have had to pay, let's say on day 2, right? Maybe even more, right? From depending on the league. And you take the exalt value, multiply it by the C value, and the C to exalt value right now is about 75 to 1. So that 5 exalts, let's say 4 exalts, because like we spent 1 exalt on this. 4 times 75 is 300. Okay, so you are essentially being given on day 2 300 C. Because you would not, you know, most of the time you wouldn't have that really nice 6 link ready to go that easily. They can make yourself even in pretty much even in solo self-found, because lots of the base uniques are pretty common. So if we take that 300C and you can think about how many maps you've done, right? This isn't a perfect gauge of it because you're repeating a lot of the maps here. This only counts like the first time you did it, but you can go to map watch or something like that to see the actual map. So let's just like double this. Let's say you did 120 maps, right? So you divide the 300C by the 120 maps, right? It's almost like 3C per map. And with no bonuses, let's say you're not sextanting, you're not fragmenting, you're not corrupting your maps, maybe you're not even ouching your maps, maybe you're transmuting, you don't have all the modifiers on there, you don't have all the watchstones, you don't have all the sextants. All these things are removed from the map, and you're still getting about 3C per map if you think about it that way, right? And that is pretty crazy because that's kind of like the drop rate that people were kind of looking for, because we've become accustomed to that in previous leagues. I don't personally think that the league is unrewarding. I think it just it's a longer setup, and then you can kind of cruise. And what I mean by that is, if you take a league like, let me just pull up Paint here. If you take a league like Expedition, right? Sorry for the flashbang. And you look at the playstyle of Expedition, what you're going to see is like, you enter the map, right? And when you encounter the Expedition, you stop. I'll use red, right? You stop. You have to do something, right? Place explosives. Okay. Oh, we gotta read. Maybe we gotta stop again because we have to replace our explosives. Oh, okay. Now we gotta hit the detonator. Okay. Now we gotta wait. We gotta wait for our explosives to like chain around. Oh, we gotta pick up all the little shards. Pick up all the little shards. Okay, and then you gotta stop because at some point you have to interact with the vendor. Okay, and there's all these levels of grind where you stop, do something, you expend brain power and like stress levels to like do something. Oh, I hope I'm not doing it wrong, right? and then you're on your way, right? And there's all these little stops in most leagues, okay? And we'll take this as like a compared to something like let's say Harbinger, right? So Harbinger, you encounter the Harbinger, you stop a little bit, right? Because you gotta wait. There's a waiting period for them to spawn, but then you're on your way. You pick up the loot on the ground, right? Which you're always going to be doing no matter what the content is. And yeah, well, there you go. It feels really good, right? And so I would say that Scourge League is kind of like that as well, because although there's a lot of setup at the beginning, right? Like let's say you got to put in your maps and stuff. Let's say you got to read up on some mods. You might even need to go into your loot filter. Let's just open up Neversink's. This is one that everyone's pretty familiar with if you're a newer player, and you'll see that in Neversink's filter there's a lot of areas, especially with like the temple mods and like tier 1 mods and like beyonded mods and stuff, where he's gonna have something that says something kind of like this, right? Greater than or equal to 2, greater than or equal to some number. And what that means is on these roles in the loot filter, it is identifying usually a fully identified item on the ground, which Scourge items are, and you can pinpoint the explicit name and loot filter it so that, like, let's say you want move speed boots, 30% movement speed boots, and like tier 1 life on boots, okay? And you can kind of filter this so that when something of your that you desire drops, it'll be like shing, right? You have whatever color, whatever sound you want, and then you can set this up so that you'll instantly know what to put into your Blood Crucible, right? You got 2 slots for the items, and you have 2 slots for the maps. So I think that will be pretty rewarding there for new players as well. And I think it's going to lead to some good outcomes, because you think about like the Blood Crucible PoEDB page I showed you with like plus gems and stuff. I think there's gonna be 2 main ways that people will interact with this. Number one, people will be really sweaty and they'll do things like filtering the loot filter. It kind of sucks that the one suggestion I would have is that there should be some way for influence items to drop ID. Because if you look at things like helmets, if you look at things like boots, if you look at things like gloves, you know, a lot of things these days, ain't nobody gonna be using a regular uninfluenced version, right? And if the influence items did drop already ID'd, it'd be easier to apply these loot filters. So one way that people interact is, you want to be a little bit sweatier, you can set up a loot filter to instantly inform you if there's a Scourge item or identified rare in areas of the game that you would want as a candidate for the Blood Crucible. And a second, way easier way that I think a lot of players, you know, you need a little bit of delayed gratification, okay, in this league, is you will buy up bases, right? Whether that be these cheap 6-links I've just mentioned, or you can buy up things that would benefit well with plus to all level of gems, right? So let's just say, you know, something that comes to mind is like, I don't know if you can get this on staff, but if you can get a +2 all chow skills on a let's say like a Cane of the Unraveling, right, which everyone knows. So then you'll have like the +3 from the Cane, you have the +2 from the implicit, right? And so that multiplied by like a good chest that could get like, you know, Cruffer +2 +1, and then get the Scourge +1 on there, right? These things kind of coming together could be really, really crazy. And I think that's an easier way to think about like how rewarding will it be for the new player. Maybe look at the Blood Crucible page, put in some cheap uniques in here that will give you some good returns, or that you can sell, right, that a lot of people are using. Another thing is, I don't know if you can get anything on bows, but like I've heard that like Toxic Rainbows, for example, like plus level bows, if you can get any plus levels on that or some good mods for dot builds, you know, think about how cheap it would be later on to make one of these bows and then just feed them into the Blood Crucible. Okay, another thing I want to talk about is maps and how long it takes to Scourge them up. And I think that these are actually quite rewarding, and they are not so hard to Scourge, at least from tier 0 to 1 to 2, okay? And that is because there are mods on the skill tree that add more map corruption here, okay? So if you look at the mods, when you think of a rewarding league in terms of spitting out currency, you're probably going to think of something like this. And if we look at the mods, you can also see this on the Blood Crucible webpage. If you look at the implicit mods on here, these will at the very least be kind of what you would expect from a new league mechanic, okay? And to get to, once again, to get to tier 1 and 2, it's not that long. Make sure you have some stuff baking in here, okay? To the point where it could get pretty hard, but you know, these just keep, the values just keep going up and up and up, depending on how many times you Scourge it. So getting these, and let's say you were to run these every time you reach Scourge rank 1 or 2, that would, I think that more than cover your average currency per map that you were expecting, okay? So I guess with this video, yeah, to answer the question again, I think the Scourge League is actually pretty damn rewarding. I know a lot of people are gonna still joke about it, but when you think about the monster count that you get, right, the XP that you get, these feed into other mechanics like incubators, beyonds, anything that needs monster count. It's super good. It's just you're gonna have to do a little bit of research and a little bit of setup beforehand, right? Because please remember that the game doesn't really start until you get all this min-max. So I want you to imagine the Scourge monsters with you have a better character, right? So you can clear faster, clear more monsters. You have all the awakening bonus on there. You have all the Atlas bonus, the modifier bonuses here. You're gonna have watchstones in that have different mods on it. You're gonna have sextants on the map. It's gonna be absolutely crazy. Okay, I think that the number one thing that if you're looking for the skill tree, I get asked this a lot too, right, in terms of rewards, like how do you make this more rewarding? I would say I guess like for noobs, you're gonna get every single point on here. You're literally gonna get every single point. Like I haven't been playing that much and I already have like almost all the points, right? Most important ones are unlock your slots so you can put more things in, and I would say like map corruption is really good. Anything that adds corruption percentage is good because it means you get to that next level of Scourge faster. Another thing to think about is that you got to think about when you do fill up this Atlas tree, there are some you put in enough items and no one's unlucky forever, right? You cannot be unlucky forever. And look at the percentages on things like exalties. So let's say, wait, where'd it go? So adding an explicit, right, 20%, right? This is why you want those good bases. Adding a modifier for 20%, adding this goes up to 5%, right, to grant additional beneficial modifier. Like, I mean, come on, that's nutty, right? Because if this is what I think it means, right? Because remember, when you Scourge something, you gain 1 beneficial in orange, 1 detrimental. If you have a 5% chance to gain another beneficial, you could get like +2/+2. You get like +4 gems or something like that, or something crazy. 2 keystones on there, maybe 2 levels of gems above the 4 level of gems you already have on your chest. Like, who knows, right? 5% I think is a pretty good chance for how long you're going to be interacting with the league. And then you look at something like this, and if you have a rare item, for example, like a harvest crafted item, I mean, this will become 10% chance to raise the explicit modifier on the equipment, which is a targeted only good divine orb, if you think about it that way, right? So all these things meshing together, I think will lead to some pretty crazy results. If you remember how people think about Harvest League and how everyone's like, bring harvest back, bring all this crafting stuff back, right? Honestly, the harvest is still okay, and this is just a level on top of the harvest. So if you like crafting, you like harvest, then you can't really complain about this league. I'm really excited to see what people come up with later in the league and see some cool items. So that's my video. I just want to give a quick take on the rewardingness of this league. Okay, if you made it this far, I guess this is where I say like the video and subscribe to the channel and comment below. If you think the league is rewarding, right? I think you're supposed to say that. All right, but like the video, subscribe to the video. I know you guys aren't liking and subscribing to the video. Okay, if you guys have any other questions, I'll be streaming at twitch.tv/cutedog_ every night, and you guys can come by and hang out. Okay. Be warned though. The stream is not like these videos. Okay. Usually. Okay. You might be in for a surprise. Okay. Yeah, you might be in for a surprise. If you know what I'm saying. Okay, there might be weird music playing, weird weep shit going everywhere. Who knows what might be happening on stream. Okay, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching the video. Bye guys. Bye.